It's Platt, and today I bring a little variety to the show. That's next to Platt's Beer of the Week. Okay, so before we get things started, I just want to wish everybody a happy New Year's. Hopefully you had a great holiday. Got through it safe and sound and not too, didn't blow too much money through the holidays. Speaking of holidays, I thought since this is the start of the year, I thought I'd throw in something new, a little different. I was recently at the liquor store and I just noticed how many variety packs of beer there are out there at times. So I got to thinking, maybe it might be cool every once in a while. I'll probably do this 2 or 3 times throughout the year. We'll have to see how it goes. But maybe I grab a variety pack in like over 3-4 weeks, however many beers are in the variety pack. We would review a line of beers from a single distillery, kind of go through the pack, see the differences, compare and contrast kind of thing, really kind of dive into a single brewery's, I hope I didn't say distillers, a single brewery's line of products. What we have here is the Hazy Day Patio Pack. Comes to us from the fine folks at Hop Valley Brewing. It is basically their Hazy IPA pack. The particular one we're going to start off in this video with is the Stash Panda. Now a little background to Hop Valley. Hop Valley was founded in 2009 in Eugene, Oregon. Today they have 2 brew pubs, one in Eugene and one in Springfield. They also at one time produced the beer Henry Weinhard's. Now, most of you may not know the name, but at one time that was a popular brand here in America. More importantly, the name Henry Weinhard has a special place in American brewing history. In 1856, he helped open the first West Coast brewery, pre-Civil War. So definitely a name that has some cachet in the brewing world. I remember 30 years ago, I was in something called the 100 Beer Club, and Henry Weinhard's was one of the beers, so that name is always stuck in my head. Now, if you go to the Hop Valley website, you won't get a lot of information about it. You won't find anything about the founders, the original brewmaster, whatever. Pretty much just a marketing website, and that is because in 2016 they were purchased by Molson Coors, so they're part of Big Beer. More specifically, they're part of something called 10th and Blake. That is a separate company by Molson Coors, basically their craft beer arm. They have brands like Blue Moon, Lion & Kugel, St. Archard's. It's also the import arm for Molson Coors. They bring in beers like Peroni, Grolsch, Pilsner Urquell, just to name a few. Also, some of the beers that Hop Valley produce gets outsourced to Wisconsin. I'm going to presume it's Milwaukee. Remember that here in the U.S. it's Miller Coors, and then internationally it's Molson Coors. So most likely they're utilizing the big brewery in Milwaukee for that. Real quick, let's talk about some of the other beers. Actually, let's more specifically talk about some of their other variety packs. This is not the only variety pack they do. They have 3 other variety packs. First is something called Cryo Hop Stash Pack, and this is really pushing their line of beers that utilize cryo hops. Now, if you've never heard what a cryo hop is, if you happen to enjoy cannabis, they tell me that if you grind the bud, you get what's called keef. They're little crystals that will, get on the bottom of your grinder. The hop plant, being related to the cannabis plant, has the same thing. And what they do is they collect those crystals when they kind of grind, when they grind or crush the hops, and they utilize that to hop the beer. And they claim it brings a certain intensity, flavor, what have you. But they have a whole line of these cryo hop beers. Next is something called the West Coaster. It's their West Coast IPA pack. Pretty straightforward. One of the things they do with these variety packs is they'll list 3 of the beers, and then they give you a little peephole for a quote-unquote mystery beer. Now, because of labeling laws, they have to let you know what the beer is, but that's how they do it, their little mystery beer. Lastly, they have something called the Triple Double. It's their Imperial IPA variety pack. It only has 3 beers instead of 4, but those beers come in at 8, 8.7, and 9.2% alcohol by volume. Big beers, better bring your big boy pants when you dive into that one. I don't know if we will or not, but I'm just letting you know. Well, before we try this particular beer, though, let's check out stats. Okay, so before we try this particular beer, it's always, of course, time for questions for Platt. If you have a question that you'd like me to answer in a video, please send it to plattsboozblog@gmail.com. In the subject line, put in questions for Platt. Today's question comes from Molokai. Hopefully I didn't butcher that. And Molokai asked, in reference to one of my winemaking videos, can I drink the whole bottle? I get a lot of questions about how much can this drink, what have you. So I thought I'd take this little video to kind of give you some firm numbers and let you kind of properly visualize this. So if you go to, let's say, your grocery store or a liquor store and buy a generic bottle of wine, generally it's going to be 750 milliliters or 25.3 ounces. Now most commercial wine is sold anywhere between 11 to 15% alcohol by volume. Now in the video that he asked, and what I've produced in other videos, is generally a half gallon of homemade wine at anywhere between 8 to 10% alcohol by volume. Now half gallon is 64 ounces. So 2 bottles at 25.3 ounces gives 51 ounces. So a little more than 2.5 bottles. Now once you kind of convert, because commercial wine comes in a little higher, basically that half gallon bottle that I make is the equivalent of 2 bottles of commercial wine as far as just total alcohol goes. I do not encourage anybody to drink 2 bottles of commercial wine at one time. Now that being said, if you have friends, like you had 3 or 4 friends and you'd produce that half gallon or whatever, go nuts, kids, whatever. But I would not advise anybody drinking the full half gallon at one setting. Also, too, the reality is, especially if you keep it in the fridge, it'll be good for days after you open it, as long as you don't keep opening it, closing it, what have you. Leave it in the fridge, enjoy it over a few days, or with friends, but don't drink the whole thing by yourself. Is where I was going with that. All right, well, enough about that. Let's try Stash Panda. All righty. Of course, slight bit of haze. A little more than a finger width of kind of off-white. It's not light khaki, it's kind of off-white head. Go for the nose. Oh yeah, we got hops there. We got hops, but it's not over the top. Those piney, kind of classic, what, you know, kind of Northwest Pacific hops. Let's go ahead and jump in. Oh, these are made with the cryo hops too. I'll be dang. You know what? Not bad. Kind of covers the bases. Hop on the nose. Hop, a little more hop aggressive. Plenty of malt base. So I think this is 6.5. Yeah, 6.5% alcohol by volume. So it's not a session style beer, but it's definitely not big for the IPA category. Get a little bit of the classic, a little bit of that citrus juiciness, but again, everything's kind of ramped down. This is not an over the top or overly aggressive IPA. That's quite drinkable. I'm gonna give the body a medium minus. You know, not quite a medium body, but definitely more viscous than, let's say, like an amber lager or something like that, you know, or definitely, you know, regular pale lagers. Just nice, simple, well-executed beer. I don't know if this stands out in any way. I don't know if you know, some beers you drink, and if you ever drink them again, you would know them blind. I don't think this qualifies for that. But overall, a fairly well-executed beer. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe down below. Also, please like the video because it lets YouTube know we're putting out good content. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or variety packs you'd like me to check out, please leave me in the comment section, or you can always contact me on the Twitter page. Till next time, bottoms up.